Hey, what is up, everybody, and welcome back to the Retro Pioneers podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Guys, we have another amazing interview for you today. We have got Mr. Trap Dragons in the house for you. He is a podcaster. He's an anime fan. He's a gamer. He's a man about the blurred culture, everything, all of that wrapped in one nice package. Guys, how you doing today? How's everybody feeling?
Doing
Feeling
good.
good. I'm feeling good. I do
Feeling
want to
good?
put
Feeling
one
great?
thing out there.
No, go ahead. Don't do your thing.
A lot of people will call me Trap Dragons, and it's TrapDragon-Z. It's a little,
TrapDragon-Z. Oh,
yeah, the
so
little
sorry.
dash right there. I know it's tough. I ain't mad at it or whatever, but it's easy, especially like when you have the sign and it pushes
Well,
the
I
Z
meant to
instead of
ask you about that, but it like totally left my mind because I was thinking, oh, he might be just TrapDragon-Z. And I didn't even
yeah.
think
You know,
about
I
that.
try to
But
play up that Dragon Ball Z thing. You
yeah.
feel me? But they ain't convey to
Well,
everybody.
let me correct the record. It's not TrapDragon, it's TrapDragon-Z. Get it right or pay the price. Yes. Guys, Mr. Justin, how you doing today, buddy? How's it going?
Doing good, man. Good. Having gonna have a good time tonight, man, and just
Yeah.
vibe out.
Of course, definitely. Guys, well, let's get started. Mr. Trap Dragons, just give us a quick little, I'm sorry, Trap Dragon Z. I'll get it right. Don't worry.
Or
I'll get it
just
right.
say trap.
Trap.
Could
I'll get it right.
everybody just call me Trap? Like, don't nobody except for the first time we meet probably say the whole name.
So give us just a quick little run through about where you from? How'd you get into just creating real quick? How did that all start for you?
So I am from Michigan.
Yes.
Grew up in Detroit, kind of moved around from there. And look, I see the D.
And we got a bunch of Detroit guests on, actually.
Boy,
We're like unofficial Detroit podcast.
yes, you
That's
could
funny.
basically say that, bro.
Yeah,
But not to me to cut you off, though, bro.
No, that's cool. That's cool. I kind of started, but that's like not a huge part. I don't know. Maybe it is. When people come here, they kind of talk and they be like, they always scared of Detroit. But honestly, at least the spots that I've been around, not that bad, but it has been some bad spots. If anybody want to visit, just visit. You would see for yourself is really nice in some of the real core areas. But I digress. I started getting into content after I saw like this video that was talking about like quit your job and whatnot. And I quit my job and ended up finding a security job the very next day, luckily for me. And
Nice.
in that car, I like studied a whole bunch of stuff about, just to let you know, like the security job is you sit in the car for like 8 hours a day.
So you got plenty of time to
Plenty of
research,
time.
watch
Plenty
it.
of time. Now it was kind of cool because like the garage that I worked at had like cars for movies that you were supposed to like secure, or like cars for like a giant Lego that they built into like a Batmobile. So it was a cool security job. But nevertheless, while I sat in that car for 8 hours, I was learning everything that I could about social media, because the reason I wanted to make content was so that I could get a job in content creation or social media consulting. But I knew ain't nobody gonna listen to you unless you can prove you know what you're talking about. So I gravitated towards my niche as kind of like the testing ground, gaming, anime, the blurred stuff. And it was funny because this was like 2017, 2018. So that word was relatively new. So I never really quite felt connected to it until I was getting immersed in the culture. And I was like, oh, wow, this is where all the homies is at and whatever. So I'm just testing in the car. I'm taking classes when I get home about social media. And eventually, after like really putting my head down and grinding for about 3 years, I look up and I got 10K on Instagram, which was a really big deal back then because 10K meant you could put the link in the bio. And so market brands and stuff will want to market through you because you got the link accessibility, but everybody got it now. So it really don't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
But that was a big deal for me. And it really proved that I kind of knew what I was talking about to different places that I would apply to. And I probably got like, I would say about 30 to 40 no's until I got a yes. And that kind of put me in a position to do this full time for like different businesses and stuff like that. And that's where you had TrapDragon-Z, where it's like I still try to do better all the time. kind of reach new heights. I love testing. I love tinkering. Like I would say, like Senku from what's the name of the show? The smart dude, science dude, or
You
whatever.
talking about Dexter Laboratory, or you talking about
He's smart too, but the
what genre?
Stone, the Dr.
Okay,
Stone.
okay, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's how I like to treat social media, where it's like it's a science and I love testing and experimenting and figuring out new ways to kind of reach new heights. But I'll blabber forever about how I
Oh
got
no,
here.
because you
No,
got to
that's all
think
good.
about it, bro. You
Yeah.
got to think about it in this perspective, right? You're trying to leave a 9 to 5, right? To basically do your own 9 to 5, but it's something that you love. So you want to be able to excel to higher heights, because it's just you don't want to just settle, because
Mhm.
settling means you're comfortable, and I never want to feel comfortable at anything I do. You know what I'm saying? So that's normal, man. You on the right track, and I definitely see you know what you're talking about when it comes down to social media consulting, because you up there in them numbers. So it's like, you doing something right, and you got a whole. When I tell you, when I see your fan base, bro, your fan base is loyal to you, bro. On the real, you got a lot of people who's rooting for you, who's like, I need to see this man on your platform, and I'm like, oh,
It's just so
hopefully we can
weird to
get them.
me because I outside of like my homies I kick it with every day, creating content. Shout out to Urban Sama. I really just be in the thick of it, and I don't hear like the accolades as much. Like you see him, maybe like great content, bro. And I always try to make that vibe feel like you knew me before you even got to the content. Even if I'm primarily making faceless content, I still wanted to feel like one of my homies said a long time ago, he was like, shout out to Boss, the art guy. He was like, you like a meme page with a soul. And
Oh
that's what
man,
really branched out everything else that I do. The Urban Sama team really pushed me to create different forms of content too outside of the meme. So like the educational content, the kind of review content, really reviving the podcast from when I used to do it, and just a bunch of other stuff. So it's nice to hear it because I never really hear it.
yeah. It's like you're on the outside looking in.
Yeah.
Those flowers, and therefore you deserve them. Actually, you brought up a nice little segue there with the educational content you've been doing. It's called Plus Ultra. Is that correct? And so, how has that been going, working for you? What was what sparked the idea for Plus Ultra, and just how's it been going?
So Plus Ultra came as my means to try to really push that consulting aspect of where I want to go in my career. And I thought that this is my niche audience. And how can I blend educational content? Because even for free, if you talk to me long enough, I'm going to try to optimize what you're doing on social media. And I can't live off free, but I will give away free knowledge, and maybe it gets me somewhere with it. And so that thought process was like, how can I help my fan base without necessarily needing like to charge them to get it? Because people will ask me questions, and people will ask me so many questions so often that I'm like, I should probably just make content out of this and really kind of promote that aspect of myself that loves giving advice. So I'm like, I can blend kind of the blur niche with this educational aspect, and if you fuse them together, you get Plus Ultra. And Plus Ultra, I thought was kind of catchy. I was like,
Yep.
you always trying to go to
Yeah.
that next level. You always trying to achieve new things, push those limits, and so I thought Plus Ultra kind of
Another Dragon Ball Z pun.
Yeah, yeah, that's in one of the episodes, like talking about pushing your limits like Goku. That's a big theme with me. Like as much as I love Dragon Ball Z and it's my favorite anime, I'm really inspired by people like All Might, constantly pushing limits, smiling in front of the face of adversity, and then not only that, but being a teacher within himself. So that's where that plus ultra theme came from. That's why All Might is kind of like the pseudo mascot for that one. And yeah, it's something I like doing, whether I got paid for it or not.
Okay, I like
Yeah, I actually told I've probably said this more than once to somebody, is that there is a unquantifiable type of reward that you get for just putting good stuff out there. Like when you actually try to connect with somebody else and you don't, even though there are aspects of getting some type of monetizable reward from it, when you don't do that with the like clear intention of I'm doing this to make money or to capitalize on an audience, you really get it back and you never know who you kind of like touching when you do that stuff. And I've got that back tenfold. Tenfold I've got that back. So you 100% right with that.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you know, Byron, going out, bro.
He was saying something good too.
At the end of the day, you want to stay genuine to what you do because it just. Oh, we can hear you now, Byron. You want to stay genuine to what you do because at the end of the day, people can read through the BS, right?
Yeah.
And they can see when you're trying to just, you're a gimmick or you just um trying to just sell me something or whatever the case may be. You just have to go in there cold-heartedly believing that this is what I want to do. And if I get paid for it, cool. If I don't, cool, because I'm doing it for fun, for one, right? And I'm doing it because I love it. So, like you said, you get it back to you 10 times fold, hey, you're going to get it back 20 times fold. You know what I'm saying? Because that just,
Mhm.
when you true to what you're doing, man, ain't no height that you can't reach. You know
And
what
I
I'm
try to
saying?
do a sniff test on everything that I put out too, because sometimes I can be, that gotta be G. Sometimes I can be so, what's the word I'm looking for? Analytic, that I have to kind of go past, add another layer to like before I put content out and be like, does this seem like you optimized it for monetization? And so if I smell that off the content before I put it out there, I'll tweak it and go, yeah, you got to be more real with this. You got to add more value. Like every time I put out, especially Plus Ultra, is with the thought process of someone can watch this and change their life with it, whether they came to you and asked for another layer of it or not. And so when you do that, I feel like it actually helps them and ends up doing the thing that you wanted it to do analytically without you actually trying, if that makes any sense.
No, that make a whole lot of sense. But but so something I want to know, right? When it comes down to your process of how, like, let's go towards the podcast side, right? So let's just say on a typical day, of you trying to create your concepts or you're getting your ideas flowing for what your next content or your next video going to be. What's that for TrapDragon-Z? Like, what is that process for you?
I don't know why I got so happy that you asked that question. And it's probably because I absolutely love elaborating on that because it's such an immersive process. So I call it plug it in. Like think about it like the Matrix and like how they used to plug it in to the back of their head or whatever, and you're in there. I will pull up every social media platform on a tab with like anime running in the background and sometimes even like an AirPod in my ear so that I'm kind of like taking in as much information as humanly possible. So I'm scrolling on Twitter, I'm scrolling on threads, I'm looking at what's trending on YouTube. It is not that I'm necessarily trying to find a trend, but if I notice one, like for instance, if I'm scrolling through TikTok and I see the same video 3 times in a row, I'll go, okay, that's a trend starting to emerge. Let me jot that down. But I'm doing that all day long, whether I'm at work walking and talking. I'll set alerts so that I get certain alerts for things that maybe pop up on Instagram. And I'm basically plugged into a point all day. And so if anything piques my interest, if my eye spots a trend, kind of like walking around with the Sharingan all day, trying to kind of like track the algorithm, I'll just have two sides of how I'm doing it, whether it's I'm looking at it from an analytical standpoint or I'm looking at it from a human standpoint where I'm like, that really resonated with me. Like that fight scene on this new episode really got me hyped. So if it's a trend, I catch it. If it piques my interest, I catch it. And then I try to mesh the two together. And I try to do
Okay.
that 3 or 4 times a day on each platform. I usually get 1 everywhere and maybe 3 on Instagram, but that's kind of my process.
Okay. Not too difficult because, well, it's difficult for someone else. You know what I'm saying? Like they'd be like, "Damn, man, how bro able to juggle all that?" But once you do something for so much, man, that repetition, man, it become, you know, a second nature of yours, bro. So it's
There you go. That's
that's
it.
definitely
I
I
try
like
to
that.
I try to turn this content creation into Ultra Instinct. That's what my thought process is.
Okay.
Optimize the process every day better and better and better and better until it becomes muscle memory. And so for me to spot a trend, it's not me looking up what's trending. I know it's trending because I saw it 3 times. I know it's trending because I saw it 3 times here, 3 times here, and 3 times here. Or I know something's about to pop because I watched it, I was hyped, and humans are mostly the same across the board when it comes to like how we're all hardwired. So if it gave me goosebumps, it's probably gonna give you goosebumps too. So that's how I think about it.
What about you, Byron? So something that I try to tell everybody, right? At the end of the day, man, for one, you want to stay in your own lane, right? Meaning of staying in your own lane, you want to find what interests you. Don't always try to make content off of what others' perspective is, because it's like you're going to put yourself in a situation where, and I heard this from R&B artist by the name of Black, right? He mentioned this in one of
Love
his
Black.
albums. I love him
Well,
too,
wait,
man.
wait, now hold on. Let me not, because somebody gonna be like, name a Black song. I won't be able to.
Hey,
But
look,
I do
put
like
that in the
it when I
comments.
hear it.
But
How about
no,
it
it's
now?
like Black said, you doing good. So
It's
Black
better.
said it best, right? When you take something that someone else gives to you and it was to pop off, now you got to keep doing it, right? And it's no
Mhm.
longer feeling good to you because it didn't come from you, it came from someone else. So, meaning of what you just mentioned, right? Of you got to learn something for yourself and let that become a second nature, or let it be programmed in your mind. Okay, I can easily just spot trends without actually having to go chase them, right? You have to build that. And that's not an easy feat to even do, because it's like, what you might think is a trend might not be a trend to the untrained eye. You know what I'm saying? So,
Mhm.
yeah, Byron, go ahead and say what you're going to say, man.
If my internet will hold on to me for a minute here, golly, I'm sorry, y'all, my laptop is just terrible. But no, I was saying that whole process sounds really cool. How many monitors do you have up in front of you when you're doing that?
I used to have 3. I've condensed it to being able to do it
On
on
one. Oh,
1.
okay. I was like,
So
man, because that sounds. At first, I was thinking, man, that sounds very like Batman. But then I was like, no, it sounds like Oracle. In the
I showed a
it's not.
friend one time. That's
But
exactly
you know
what
who
he said.
Oracle is,
It
though?
was like it
Yeah.
looks like
It sounds
Batman.
like Oracle, she's in the Batman. She's Barbara Gordon, but she was in the chair.
Yeah.
She had all the screens up. She's hacking. She's looking at everything. She's breaking into stuff for them. Like that, you need to design like a comic book character like logo for that for yourself. Like man in the chair, finding all the trends. Because that I just put that image in my head. I was like, that is awesome. Go back to 3 monitors. Put 4 up. Seriously, make it. I'm serious. Have a
Well,
dedicated
now it
Look,
monitor
bro,
kind of
for
helps
you
with
each
like
something I
site.
with having
noticed.
like different apps now compared to when I
Yeah,
started. I just get a lot of
yeah,
alerts. So my phone acts as that monitor
gotcha,
now.
Okay.
gotcha.
Well, let me ask you this then. So when you started, you say you started in 2017, right?
Yeah, it started just social media like learning, but I dropped my first page in 2018.
So to go off of that, what things you see different from then and now, as far as content creation?
Oh my God, a world of
Yeah,
difference,
everything.
bro. It's everything is different. Everything. I couldn't pinpoint one thing, but to put something out there, one, it's like from the meme universe. You make memes completely different than you used to now. Like if I could have started and I was like, I can grab an image, a program's gonna take the background out for me. Another program is gonna house all of these trending sounds that help me make this meme, and I can do it all in one place, and it's gonna be called CapCut. If I knew that, I would have been producing way, way more when I first started. The first memes is just like from scratch. Me finding a video on YouTube, screen recording it, bringing it here, cutting it out myself if I cut out the background, using another app. Like it used to be Splice. That app was awful. It was good for the time, but it was awful. And then InShot has been my best friend for a long time on mobile since I started. But like other stuff, like you didn't have like creator insights that told you what was trending or what might be the best time to post. I think the biggest thing from then and now is TikTok coming out, and TikTok changed the game for everything that's out here. If you look at it, everything wasn't vertical scrolling, and that changed so much once it became this vertical scrolling, and TikTok was constantly changing the algorithm, and that algorithm was very similar to Tumblr, where it like pushed things that you was like paid attention to or interested in. And so that pops up next, which takes away the need to be so niche, because what you're going to put out now is going to automatically get to who pays attention to it. So I think that's probably the biggest thing, is because you used to have to curate those pages so to a niche to get people into the streamline of content, that now you see all these new people kind of like blowing up just from pushing on TikTok. And I think that's the newest thing, is just like it changing from just being a bunch of followers and gaining followers and gaining followers to a thing where you can really put out authentic content and reach people. That's probably the biggest one outside of the plethora of other stuff.
Okay.
So would you say that having, well, especially on TikTok made having a niche slightly less important for your brand? Like if you were to start doing your brand, you were in multiple social medias at once.
Yes and no. Yes and no. Like the meaning, like if you don't know what you want to be doing, you probably gonna have a hard time getting somebody to follow you or follow what you're doing. But do you need to be so niche specific or people are gonna get confused? No. And so that's where it helps now, is that that's very different from how it used to be. And that's because of TikTok. After TikTok blew up, how fast they blew up, and how much they could make one person reach a bunch of people, all of the apps follow. If you look at it, every app has something that looks like TikTok.
Because I remember in the early days of social media, right, for you to try to gain followers, let's just say, for example, your only content was Dragon Ball Z, right? Then you start trying to further out into Yu Yu Hakusho. They're gonna be like, hold on, but your content is Dragon Ball Z, so
That
now you
happened
going
here.
to another anime. Like, what's going on, brother? You confused? So
Yep.
it's like now you able to just talk about any anime on your same platform, and I think that's a great thing. But I also feel like the new age of social media can also hurt you at the same time as it can help. What what's your thoughts on that? So what I mean by hurting you, right? Saying to the point where you start making your content. Let's just say you do an anime content creation, right? And you coming in as, okay, well, I feel like I know anime, but I see that it's popular and everybody talking about it. So let me go ahead and dive into that. But now you so far into it, you just don't know what to make anymore because you was not a anime fan like you say you
Chasing
was.
trends.
Well, you talking
That's
about
what I mean
people
by hurting
faking.
You're
that way.
chasing trends.
That's
Yeah,
what it
yeah.
is. You talking about people being
Yeah.
fake. Like, yeah, you get exposed easier.
Yeah.
Yes. Like you don't know what you're talking about. So yeah,
But
yeah, it'll hurt. Yeah, it'll hurt you there. Like if I get on air and start talking about like, I don't know, how to get rich, and I'm not rich, eventually after a bunch of videos, you're gonna be like, I don't think this guy know what he's talking about.
I need to see some
Right.
receipts.
That's funny. Yeah, no, that'll hurt you.
Yep. So that's what's up. So let's we got a nice little education here. Let's get into some of the things you like, what you've been doing, what you've been playing. Let's go into gaming. We haven't touched really much on gaming yet. It's a gaming channel. What have you been playing recently? What are you getting into? What have you been playing recently? What's been occupying your time in the gaming world?
Unfortunately, Marvel Rivals.
Okay.
That has been having me acting a way that I ain't acted since I was a teenager, man.
Talk about it.
I threw my controller for the first time.
You broke a
in
controller?
long time. I ain't break it, but I threw it. Like it
I
was.
didn't
You
break
got
it.
that heated,
The
like,
wall broke it. You see what happened was the wall got in my face.
oh,
No,
Walk us through this break.
I've
What
been
happened in
playing
this
it.
particular match here? I got to hear the details of this control.
I don't know. Like I have been playing so much that like I just have so many games where I mean it was a learning curve because you realize that you have to be the one to adapt to the team. You can't get on there every time and be like, y'all not helping me. I'm not getting no heals.
It's
Like
true.
you the one who not growing in your rank when you do that. So that came, I don't know what match, but that came from a learning curve of me expecting the team to do what I thought that they would do. And it was like, you can't trust nobody
Yeah.
online. They don't care. Like you gotta do what you think is best
right.
Yeah. Oh
for the
yeah.
team. So you gotta be
Yeah,
the catalyst for
yeah. Those
change.
people online don't care at
Yeah.
all, bro.
When you're
You
playing
want
Halo and like, gosh, you guys just aren't playing the game right. You're thinking, oh damn, I'm dying a little bit more. I gotta find them.
As if it can't possibly be you, right? Like you could be the problem too. And sometimes I was the problem. I don't think I'm the problem for real no more, but
see, and that's what kills me about multiplayer games, bro. And that's kind of reason why I kind of died down from playing them as much, because it's like when you know you're trying, but you just suck. It's like
you gotta
people be
say I
like,
suck too. You gotta admit. Like I'm not
damn, bro,
good.
I suck at
Gotta
this
get
game,
good.
bro.
Got
Like,
to get good.
like I was playing Overwatch 2, right? I was good at Overwatch 1, but Overwatch 2, I'm baby boo boo garbage, bro. So it's like I was like, yeah, I came to a conclusion. Yeah, this game ain't for me no more, bro. So I'm gonna have to push this to the side, stick to my single player.
And I do have some games that are like not all multiplayer because I'm not the best team player in anything.
Mhm.
Like I can be a part of a team, but for the most part, I gotta have my own little space of what I create and what I want, so that like, cause I can get into a space where I'd be like, I'm not listening to nobody. I'm doing what I want to, and I don't care. And when you have that type of personality, I can mark my problems, my personal issues, whether it's creating content or playing a video game. Like I can get like that. So I gotta have some games that's not multiplayer because I be getting mad at people. So I will play Elden Ring, and I play Elden Ring with my friends too. I play a real old game, Age of Empires. I love building civilizations and
Dang.
going to war and stuff like that. For me, it's fun, but it's also like a testing thing that I do to be like, it's like playing live chess for me. That's what it's like. I love fighting games. I was addicted to Sparking Zero until it got too redundant for me. I don't know. I don't know what I expected from Sparking Zero. It was Tenkaichi 4 essentially. So I don't know why I thought something else was gonna happen, but
Yeah, and that's more multiplayer based.
yeah,
Wasn't there a lot of
So
yeah,
cheating
and
going
it can
on?
get real toxic in there.
Was there a lot of
mhm,
cheating going on in
I
Sparking
don't know
Zero?
what else I play.
man, cheating, man, you ain't gotta worry about cheating. You gotta just worry about, well, yeah, people just spamming
Gotcha.
same moves, bro.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody do that to me, I'll do that too. Like if it happens to me too many times, then I'm spamming the next person I play, and I'll be like, "You just catching what
I'm just
I
paying it
caught from
forward.
them."
I'm just
Yeah, unfortunately,
Yo, man. So while we on the gaming note, right? What's your top 5 games?
that's hard. That's something you should have asked me before I got here.
Something something we want to just throw out there for everybody who's watching this video, right? We want to throw out that when you mention something about top 5, you can mention a franchise, you can mention an individual game. It's all of what you want. So if anybody want to say their opinion, comment it at the
Now, is this of all time when you
yeah.
say
yeah,
this? Like
all
Yeah,
my
time.
top 5.
ooh, favorite games of all time. What's funny is I made this list not too long ago, like maybe like last year on a podcast, and I don't remember what I said. So it might be different than what I say here, but there's this old game that I think was on PlayStation that's going in my top 5, and that's Legend of Dragoon.
Yes, sir.
That one right there, it was a long game, but I tell you, that story is peak. It's like they transform into like these half dragon, half hybrid things. Like I guess
Sure.
it's like it got I don't want to say Power Rangers vibe, but they morph.
Okay.
So
Transform.
that's the only thing that's in the same. And they got different colors and stuff, and each one of them had different elements. But you can look at it.
I
Let
know
me
what
know
you're
what
talking
you
about.
think. Yeah, you see,
I think you
you
spoke about
know.
it
I
before,
played it
right?
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Red Dragon.
Yeah, I spoke about it before. That look, man, PlayStation had its
Yeah.
classics, and that's definitely one of them.
The second one for me, and that's gonna go from that PlayStation era up until now, is the Tenkaichi series or the Budokai series. I can't count how many hours I'm with my cousins in the basement, passing the joystick, playing,
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Budokai 2,
Yep.
3, Tenkaichi. That series is seared in my mind. So that one's gotta go there. And you're gonna notice a lot of fighting games because I had a bunch of brothers, and that was one of the big things that we do is we sit down, we play a
How
game
many
all day,
brothers?
and who can beat who. Marvel vs. Capcom is another one. All of them. I just like all of them.
Okay, you can say that. You can say that.
After that is where it gets a little dicey because I don't know what games I would put over other ones, but I'll say the Devil May Cry series. Really like Devil May Cry. Each one of those characters
Okay.
are dope once you get to like 4 and 5. They introduce Nero.
Mhm.
You can actually play as Virgil after you get past the first one. And I think maybe even the first one you can play with Virgil at the end, which is
Yeah,
nice to see the reiteration of it in an anime form this year with that anime. It got a lot of flack, but I like it. I like the anime.
not everybody gonna like stuff, man, and that's
You know.
usually be the
We're in the era
critics.
of hot takes, so
You know.
it pays not to like stuff nowadays.
And the last one, I'm just throw one out there and say Elden Ring. Elden Ring is goated.
It is.
Great
Okay, I can see
story,
that.
great customization. It has a lot of lore. I was addicted to the Dark Souls. I remember I was playing for like 8 hours one time. And my family came out and they was like, "Why is it so dark in here?" It was like, "Have you got off the couch
Yeah.
today?" It was like,
A
"What
little
is you
musty in
doing?"
there.
And I'm like, "I'm trying to win." It's like, I don't even like the music that's coming from this game. So if I can play it for that long nonstop, it's a good game to me. So if I make this list again, it's probably gonna be different next time.
Hey, man, but look, that's your
Yeah.
choice, though. You know what I'm saying? And that what a lot of people fail to realize is at the end of the day, man, we all have our choices. Sometimes might change, sometimes might not change. Just depending on what mood we in, man. Because you might
Yeah.
see a game that you remember. You right now, you might not remember the game, but later, like you might hear somebody mention it. You be like, oh damn, that's the name of that game. Oh, that's top 5 automatically.
You got to break this up into categories because I could go down a list like Mortal Kombat, Mega Man X, Street Fighter, Halo, the Halo series. Period. You got all of the zombie games like what is it? Left 4 Dead, Last of Us, like all of those games. The Spider-Man, almost all of the Spider-Man games that come out for PlayStation and stuff are just they good games. So
I didn't like Miles Morales one though.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
fire.
I felt like that was more of a DLC than an actual just game.
I feel that. And I
It
wasn't
wasn't full
expecting it
price though.
either.
Yeah.
No, they
Yeah.
wasn't. Well, PC wise, it was full
Okay.
price. They was charging you $69.99.
Yeah.
Bro.
I'm interested. What was your Elden Ring build like? Because I'm a big Elden Ring stan myself. What was your? Did you play Shadow of the Erd Tree?
Yeah.
What's your?
Yep. I got it the first day. Me and the homies was waiting, like counting down the time. We even switched our Xboxes to a different time frame so that we could play it a
Oh,
day
you're on
early.
Xbox. We got to play some Elden Ring together then. Vicious.
Bet.
Yes.
So man, I gotta shout out my boy Kadeem. Kadeem the Dream, Bearded Senpai. Those are my homies that I mainly
Yeah.
play Elden Ring
Yeah.
with. And Kadeem really, he is a really competitive person. And so
You need those, man.
yeah. And so our big thing is like we would fight each other every day. And it started because they had played the game well before me. And my homie was trying to get me to play the game for like a year. I'm like, I'm not playing Elden Ring. I'm not playing Elden Ring. I got addicted to Dark Souls. I'm not playing Elden Ring. And you can even look if you scroll down my page and see some of my Elden Ring content with those two homeboys. When we would play, like it was it's hilarious. But I developed the build because this is a funny story. So he got the game and he was begging me to play it. And so I finally bought it, downloaded it, played it, and it felt like he wanted me to get it just so he could whip my ass.
Go and get
So
this fighting game. Get this fighting game, man.
Kadeem, he had his character, and his was a little stronger than mine, but wasn't as strong as
Okay.
JP's. And so when we would fight each other, we would team up against the other friend, and when we would beat him, but we both wanted to win by ourselves. And so I got tired of being the weakest, so I looked up a YouTube video where to find like the shield so I could block the magic attacks that I was getting shot at with, and then where to level up the fastest. So I went full Jin Woo, found the area, and played for like 6 hours by myself, doing nothing but
Yeah,
farming.
it's leveling up. Dude, that's how you play.
Hey, sometimes it takes
I'm
for
the
that,
same way.
Dog, I came back and I sent them the text messages. They was like, "You ready to play Elden Ring?" And I hit one of them one time, and it did way more damage than it used to do. And I sent the text message of Jin Woo going like, "I've been leveling up this whole time." And that's how I felt. And what my build eventually ended up being, to answer your question, it's a dexterity and what is it? A dexterity and arcane build. So my whole thing is I use that fingerprint shield to basically block every attack. And then I use this Kadeem. He gave me this black sword that scaled completely to arcane. And so because mine, my build is arcane, I can one shot a lot of people.
Nice.
Maybe take 2 shots if I get it direct, if I don't get it directed.
This is.
But when I'm not using that sword, I use a long Nagi Kiba so that you can't flip outside of those infinity frames without getting sliced. And then I scale it to poison. So I love poisoning people. I love the game that I play. I like sensory overload, meaning when you're playing a game, I like anything that makes something that you're not used to pop up while you're playing. So you're not used to seeing a green poison bar when you usually playing. So it throws off your OODA loop, your response to things. And so it's like, okay, this is distracting me from your actual combat. And then when you're out of it, you still getting a status effect. So that is very Jin Woo like, I guess.
So
Yeah, that really is. That's why I say a lot of the games are really just like testing grounds for me to figure out different stuff. Like I want to try to do this or try to do that. And so I just use the video game as a way to facilitate like testing of my mind in different ways.
Nice.
okay.
Even though I'll be having fun, it's just a fun way to do it.
Okay.
What's up?
So something I want to do, right? We're gonna leave off the games for a minute and we're gonna get into some anime, right? Because I know this is where I really want to hit you with questions, right?
Okay. Oh, before we leave the games, I have to
Go
say,
ahead.
I gotta say UFC. I don't know how I left that out.
Okay.
I am
Which one?
I am a UFC, the newest
Okay.
one.
Mm,
I do the same thing that I do on Elden Ring with UFC. I play to stamina. My whole game is to try to deplete your stamina because you don't think about stamina. So, and I play it so much. I had got to number 600 in UFC.
Nice.
So
yeah, that's a feat right
Nice.
there, bro.
Nice.
So I don't know how I left off UFC, but UFC.
There you go.
Okay. Cause that's actually not an easy thing to do, bro. Like to get up there in them rankings of the UFC game, man.
Not
So
easy.
yeah, you definitely go on that one, bro. So when I get another Xbox, man, I definitely got to hit y'all up on the, especially UFC, because I do the UFC, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, most definitely. I just ain't really been on my console game like that lately.
No, my boy Boss, he played me 100 times in one night. He won once, but he was dedicated. He was like, "You a cheater, bro. You a cheater."
I was cheating because I'm winning, bro.
100 times.
suck.
He was heated that night. Golly.
But the thing is, like, if I'm getting whooped 99 times and I only win one time, bro, I'm giving up,
99
bro.
problems.
He got me
And I'm
back
trying
in
again
Madden.
tomorrow.
He got me back in Madden. He he whooped me in Madden.
Oh
I'm
man,
decent in Madden, but he whooped me. It
yeah,
wasn't even fair. He was getting his leg back.
man. Hey, that's fair though. That's fair. But something I want to ask you, going on to anime, right? What animes are you watching right now?
Vigilantes, my hero. Be Hero X caught me by surprise. Absolutely love it. The animation is beautiful, and any story that can get me to feel like them little goosebumps on your forearm when you watching it. And I'm big on anime that have like believe in yourself type of stuff, push past, and that the trust value thing in that anime is just so dope to me. I think it's a funny and interesting aspect of like how to have powers, a power system. What else am I watching? I think that's it for anime this season right now. Those are only two. I'm letting Windbreaker build up. If it's not done yet, because I've been getting tired of like the anime getting interrupted while I'm watching it.
Exactly. I had to do that with Diamond.
I watched Daima, like I watched that one, the English and the sub, but I haven't had like a lot of free time as of like the last month. So once I get everything settled down in my life, I'm going back to like binging a bunch of them at the same time.
Nice.
Okay, that's
Still a
fair
good
enough.
list though. Very nice.
Oh yeah, most definitely. That's
Yeah.
solid, bro. Cause I've been hearing a lot of people animes that they've been watching. I'm like, oh man, dumpster fire, bro.
I strongly suggest To Be Hero X. I suggest it is go in there with an open mind because the animation is different. It kind of looks like a Ladybug and Cat Noir, like that. I forget what that
Okay.
one, but it switches between 2D and 3D
Cool.
depending
Okay.
on the scene. So yeah, I suggest it. If you end up not like, and how do you say it? Fririn? I don't know how to say that.
Free ran.
Yeah, that's a beautiful anime. And I don't like mages, I don't like witches, and I don't like stuff that looks like slice of life. And I like that anime. Like that I can sit and watch that anime and be like, I'm so peaceful at heart. Watch
I'm so peaceful.
some of the fight scenes is
Yeah.
fire. So
Yeah, and I can honestly admit to that. That I'm not really a modern anime watcher because I don't know. I don't think because I give it a chance enough.
Probably not.
But some of the fight scenes that I do see, that like clips and stuff on YouTube, I'm like, damn man, maybe I should
a
check this
good
show
fight
out,
scene to
man.
get me in any anime. I'm a sucker
Exactly.
for fights, so I don't care how basic that seems. If the fighting is dope, I'm gonna at least
Yeah.
check it out.
Well,
Exactly.
anime, just like gaming right now, honestly, just there's more anime out than ever. There's more games out than ever. Everybody wants to have a hot take, and so it's kind of hard to find your way through all that fluff of hot takes and people being general, like what's good for you. Like, what anime do I want to watch? You know what I mean? So it could take some time if you're not, if you don't have the time.
Yeah, I try
But
to
it
keep
goes,
some notes while I do it.
yeah, it kind of goes back to like what me and you always
Yeah.
talk about. Triple, like, not to go off of anime to games, but it's
connected, though.
just I'm giving a
Yeah.
analogy, right? It's like you can't sit here and play AAA games and not think there ain't no good
Exactly.
indie games out there, right? So it's the same way with anime. You can't just base your senses on, well, I only like the OG ones, and not think that some of the modern ones might not be might be good, because it's like if you don't give something a chance, how can you know if something you might like? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm
Got to
in
do
on
your
that.
own research on anime. Definitely.
Yes, you do.
Well, we talked about what you're watching currently. We got to ask another question about top 5 anime of all time. Let's go from 5 down to 1.
All right, let me try to not think about it too
Yeah,
hard and speed.
just put it out there so it'll be a nice hot take
Yep.
for a nice quick.
Dragon Ball series. Let's just get that
Well,
one
let's go
out
from
the way.
5 to 1. So
I don't
Dragon Ball's
care.
5.
I don't.
We're gonna go from
Oh,
5 to
5
1.
to 1. You want me to rank them
Yeah.
too?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
5 to 1. Number 5.
Well, not ranking them. He wants you to your least to your favorite.
So the one that I hate to
So
one that
if Dragon Ball was
top
your
5.
favorite, you
Just
would
go
make
from
that
5 to
last.
1. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay. So starting like worst to favorite. Okay, so Dragon Ball is 1. The whole series, and I don't care what nobody say. Like, you're not a real anime fan if it's that I don't even, and that's not even a lot of people's collective opinion. It's just they say that, people say a lot.
People say a lot.
So that's my favorite one. Naruto is what I get mad about these lists is like I feel like personally. people say these lists, and some of them be authentic, and the other ones be like, I don't want to say something basic. Like I am. It's one of the best for a reason, so I'm gonna say it. So
Look, I got a 4 dude on Mount Rushmore, and everybody hated me for it, bro. Everybody
yeah,
hated
like
for me.
I think my top five is gonna be a normal. I don't know what do you want to say, hood black five, top five from black people. Like it's gonna be DBZ, Naruto, Bleach, One Piece, and Yu Yu
Okay,
Hakusho.
okay.
Like
Okay, okay.
That's a
that's
good
my
list.
5. Now that does not mean that I don't love
Of
other ones.
course.
Like I love solo leveling. I'm loving To Be Hero X. I loved and think even though these are I gave you my top 5, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood I feel is the most well-rounded,
Honorable mention.
perfect anime out there. The alchemy power system is it don't have as many flaws as other stuff. The story begins and ends without a lot of loose ends. So
So I want to say something about that one.
uh,
I didn't really too much enjoy Brotherhood only because I watched the OG version before, right?
I watched that
And
one too.
on the one that came out before Brotherhood, it was so long wise because they explained everything, every little detail. So it kind of like I got the short end of the stick, the long end of the stick, but people who watch Brotherhood got the short end of the stick. They was able to see everything. Okay, well, this classic show, we're gonna make it not so long, but we already know what people enjoyed from the old one, so we're gonna make it better for this revision of the show.
Yeah. And I think more anime should do that, honestly. Like, think how One Piece has like those movies that are just the different arcs condensed. If you watch those, you would, I think, still get the same feeling from watching the full thing. Like, a lot of anime could benefit from redoing it and taking out some of the fluff that I think just happens from creating a manga and needing filler and stuff like that. Like, if you did Dragon Ball over, I wholeheartedly believe if you told the original Dragon Ball story now, that people would be talking about it the way they talk about these new anime.
I think one thing people forget
That's my
is reason why One Piece and all those things is they were manga. The manga was long too, but also remember the television model was a reason for those things being long too, because they wanted to run ads during the show. Then they want the show to run for a certain amount of length for the season and all these things. You know what I mean?
This dude right here, man.
But that model isn't
Tell
the
crazy.
same anymore. So that's one thing anime needs to adapt to is the new model of
And that's true.
just
yeah.
it's different.
I mean, you can't like is to me is like streaming versus having like shows just put out in like syndication like that. Like you gotta have your commercial, you gotta have your ads. It's indifferent. They got seasons now, but they got breaks that wasn't really explained
Yeah.
to you. Like we didn't know a lot of times. Like we was watching Dragon Ball Z and we didn't know that this was season 2. We just like, well, it's continuing out of nowhere. So that's a real big difference in watching experience.
But in a way though, and this is reason why I love Dragon Ball so much, right? It's to the point where even though we didn't know we was going to another season, you had an idea because of the way the setting was changed.
Yeah.
Like, okay, well, we on Earth right now. The Saiyans came and invaded Earth, and Goku beat them. Now we transition to them going to another planet, Namek, and they seeing more Namekians, and it's kind of like, okay, well, we in a different part of Dragon Ball now. What's going on? It's season 2, brother.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Like when Trunks
yeah,
pulled up and cut Frieza, you knew that was a different season. Like you just knew.
yeah. Okay. So when it comes down to anime, right, and it's something I like to ask people, especially art people, right? Do you feel we can make a great anime?
Hell yeah. Without question. Without question. Because I think that there's I think that for a very long time, prior to like what we experience right now, Black hip hop culture has always had a connection to like anime culture. And so those themes, you can see them, especially in people like Wu-Tang Clan. Like I can't even like list them all like off the top of my head, but I would remember hearing like Ghostface Killer when my dad would be playing songs and I'm in the back seat and I hear him using martial arts references in the
Kung
rap.
Fu.
So like that has been something that's been connected for a very long time. And so when you ask like, can we make a good anime? Yeah, I think that not only can we make a good anime, I think we should make one that we feel thoroughly represented through. And I don't mean even just one aspect of blackness, for lack of a better
No,
word.
that's the
Like,
word.
we differ from person to
The
person
blackness is not a
so much.
monolith.
Yes. But yes, it's the experience is so different from me or you or somebody else I might meet that it's like we need to make one because I can't have one character try to encapsulate us all. So like, can we make a good one? Yeah. Should we? We need to hurry up and do it. That's why if I see anybody doing anything like it, even if I don't necessarily love your idea, I'ma still support it because you don't know where your idea may end up branching off into, what it can do for you, the position that it could put you in to maybe tell a more thorough story, even if maybe the first one that you put out wasn't great, is because I feel like a lot of people are trying to, when they are trying to make these black stories, they're trying to make something so perfect the first time and catch everybody in one hit that it's like it's so much pressure to produce something. It comes off as generic because they're trying to get everybody at once in one thing. It's like I feel like if we were put in a position to be able to like rapid fire, we would get better stuff. So I think we could make a great one. I think that there are black experiences that are so unique that if they were illustrated in anime form, that it'd be like, damn, this is a hell of a story. So yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Okay.
I'm glad you asked that question, man. Really, the problem just comes down to is just we got to be louder. The anti woke crowd. I was telling this to my fiance the other day. The anti woke crowd, unfortunately, I think they got louder than we ever did asking for diversity. And that I'm sitting, I was thinking, because they were screaming about, and we've always been asking, kind of just kind of going to the proper channels, asking, pitching our stuff, writing our stuff, getting out there, creating our own lanes and doing it right. But then the anti-woke crowd started, man, we're like, everyone stop. It was like, holy crap, guys, we're just working. We're just doing we're just trying to get stuff made here. And so that kind of bothered me. I feel like we need to get louder again and bring these conversations up more. I wish more podcasts, other podcasts who are allies would bring this topic up more and more. We just got to get louder.
And I mean, I think because too, like it always gets into a murky area of conversation where there's different layers of it that you don't want to have a conversation about, whether it's support from each other or support from the outside world, or like we was talking about what's black and what's not black. It's just like just make it, bro. Just make it. And
Do it
I'm not
because you
saying
love it.
just make it because it's easy to just
Yeah.
make it. I don't want to make it seem like that, but I feel like don't argue everything. Much like other forms of content, I would love for it to just be put out into the world. And if it pisses somebody off, let it piss them off. And if you talking about it pisses somebody off, let it piss them off. You cannot live in a world of constantly trying to appease the
Yep.
masses because you'll always forever put out this vanilla tasting content for me not swearing
Yeah.
too much. I've been trying to get better.
Man, we all do, bro. But guess what? Hey, we just having a simple
Yeah.
conversation.
Makes art, man. You can't we would have never gotten anywhere in any culture if art didn't push the status quo and challenge stuff. And it's just got to keep pushing. We got to get louder, keep having
Yeah,
conversations
because
like this, keep encouraging other people to
I
have,
mean, yeah, we got to, bro. Because at the end of the day, it's like we all have a voice that we want
yeah,
to be heard, right? But at the same time, it's like sometimes we tiptoe around certain topics because we don't want to affect certain people or have ourselves counseled or whatever the thing might be. But sometimes it's necessary to stir that
yeah,
pot, man, because it's like you're going against a mass that's greater than you, obviously, right? Because there's so many other people, the anti woke community. They're more to them than us. But if we stop being
Or
scared
maybe
at
they
the end of the
louder.
day,
They
yeah,
might
they
not.
louder,
yeah.
but it's just we get timid at some points and be like, oh man, I don't think my point gonna get across. Doesn't matter as long as you made that point. how you know it's not gonna get across.
Yeah. Like you gotta be willing to piss somebody off and like not going out there with the
Don't be a dick.
idea. Like don't go out there with the intention of I'm trying to piss them off. But like
Yeah.
it's like I say this with a lot of people who create content, and I'm not the perfect person to talk to about like how can we make this happen? Because I don't know. But I do know that if you trying to make it happen, I'm trying to help you in whatever way I can, whether it's like promotion, helping with marketing the idea or something like that. But what I say to a lot of people is do not overthink the content, because overthinking the content will bottleneck it, and you will put out one post when you could have put out 50. And it's like just stop thinking about whose toes you're gonna step on and step on the toes. They say ouch, and once they say ouch, you can adapt. And if you're a caring, considerate human being, you'll be like, I did not mean to step on your toes. This is what I meant to say. And those type of conversations facilitate growth. And that's with friendship, that's with relationships, that's with content, that's with everything. Like you gotta be willing to be yourself and put yourself out there, put your art out there, put your expression of self out into the world, and whatever you get back, adapt to it.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Nicely put.
Great words of wisdom. It's a nice final word. Well, we're getting close to the end of time here. Trap, why don't you tell us what you got coming up for the people? What anything new with Plus Ultra coming up down the pipeline? Anything you want people to look forward to on your channel?
Yeah. What is the word? Rapid experimentation when it comes to content. So I could tell you like I got this going and I'm working on
Gonna do
that.
something different tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm working on 100 things at
Feel you.
once. If there's anything that really has my focus right now, it's my music memes, so that I call them, where I like try to find a scene, whether it's from a cartoon, anime, comic, nerdy movie, and it's kind of like an AMV, but it is used for a meme. I want to create a meme using music and using a media source to try to push an idea. And I think I've been getting better and better at it. And my goal is to connect to you in a way where you like, I know this was just a meme, but I have to share it because I felt something when I watched it, whether it was, oh my God, I do be doing that at work, or oh man, I hate when this happens, or oh my God, when like one of the ones I love is like adding different music to a scene. So if it was like a sad scene, I'll find maybe an R&B song and add it, layer it over that anime scene and be like, what if this song was in this scene? So really messing around with music and different nerdy media to create a meme that's more than a meme, but like a meme with a soul.
Yeah. Okay, what's up?
That's dope right there.
I'm trying to make goosebumps come up on your arms.
Okay.
Like that's my
Okay,
thing.
nice.
I like that. That's definitely
That's
dope.
what's up.
Yeah, and it helps really get for me, get attention to artists that are trending and ones that are smaller that should be trending in my opinion. Like if I hear a song and it hit me, I'm gonna try to use it in a way that boosts the artist and boost my content too.
Nice. That's what's up. Well, guys, listen, we are out of time, but thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe this video, share it, get it out there to all the people. Guys, that was TrapDragon-Z coming at you, giving you knowledge about creating, his favorite anime, favorite games, or just, how to stay in the culture and be authentic. So we thank him for coming out. Thank you for being a friend of the show. We'd love to have you back soon as possible.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you for
Most definitely.
dealing with me and getting me here. I know we had to reschedule a couple of times, but we got it
Part
done.
of it, part of
And
it's
thank
fine,
you
man.
for being like just cool people who you can vibe with on camera, and it doesn't seem like a stiff environment where you can't really
Appreciate that. Appreciate
Most
that.
definitely, bro. We try our hardest, bro. And we like to just thank everybody, man, just for watching. And we definitely want y'all to stay tuned for some new things happening with the podcast, man. And definitely make sure y'all go check out TrapDragon-Z content, man, because he gives dope content, bro, on all platforms. And we appreciate y'all, and we'll see y'all next time.
Peace. Peace.
Peace.